There's a group of people in America that are outright told by actions, not words, but by actions. They're told by the United States government and every state government, you don't have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now that's a pretty big accusation, isn't it? You see, America, if you are a disabled American and you receive SSI funds or disability funds, if you receive SSI, you're only allowed to have $2,000 at any given time. That means that let's say you want to plan for a time when you will not be part of the system. You want to get off disability. You want to get off Social Security. You want to be a productive American. But you want to save money because you realize that, you might get a job and you might lose it, especially in this economy. Well, let's say you decide to put money in an IRA or a mutual fund or anything like that. The United States government will not let you have more than $2,000 in any bank at all. IRA, you name it. And I believe for disability, it's $10,000. So you basically are denied your right that is guaranteed in the Constitution, that is guaranteed in the Bill of Rights. Our government is violating our own Constitution. Furthermore, you might think, well, yeah, but that's not a big deal. I'll tell you what is a big deal. I recently spoke to an attorney. He told me that one of his clients inherited $1 million. That's pretty good money, right? People out there, that's good money, right? Yeah, that good money?
Good
$1 million, pretty good, right?
I'll take it.
They couldn't leave Social Security or whatever benefit they were having. You know why? Because they had a pre-existing condition. And because they had a pre-existing condition over the term of their life, over their lifespan, they would actually not be able to get insurance, and it could kill them. Plus, the cost, the out-of-pocket cost, would far exceed the $1 million. So during their lifetime, their health care might be $2.3 million. So because of this, they had to give away and not accept their own inheritance. They were denied their $1 million. Excuse me. This is a denial of human rights for the disabled Americans. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there say, well, they're getting money for free, and it's my taxes and all that. You know what? Do you realize that because America and the states do this, that people who want to get out of the system can't? Which, by the way, puts more of your money into the government's pocketbook, and ultimately some money goes into the recipient's pocketbook, but more of it goes to the government. So they basically are saying to the disabled Americans, you don't matter. You don't have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I wanted to get to universal health care. I'm going to have to try to do that next month or the month after. I have 5 minutes, but let me throw this down. If we have a universal health care system put in America, and if that system includes nobody being turned down for pre-existing conditions, then that woman who inherited $1 million would then be able to get health care, and she could get her $1 million. And in her getting her $1 million, she is off the government payroll, and that's more money you don't have to pay in taxes. So if I were you, I'd be contacting the United States government today at excuse me, I missed it for a minute, www.senate.gov, www.house.gov, and I would contact all your leaders, even your local leaders, and say, you know what, we got to work on this stuff. But I'm going to leave you, before we go, because we only got a few minutes, I'm going to throw something down. This is what Abraham Lincoln said. Now, I've been talking about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and how these things are wrong and the same-sex marriage and all that. Let me throw this down. These words of Abraham Lincoln, my friends. The war for the Union, during the Civil War, of course, the war for the Union is the people's conflict to make certain whether there shall be preserved in this world a form of government and substance of government, the object of which is to make, I'm sorry, it's hard to read something, is to remove the obstacles from the pathway of all, to open the avenues of honorable employment for all, and to give all an unfettered chance and a fair chance in the race of life. So Abraham Lincoln, and I didn't read that correct, I'll work on it, but essentially he said, our government in America is to have don't read it right now, please. Every American is to have a fair chance in the race of life and honorable employment. And for those who cannot work because of mental or physical ailments, under what Lincoln said, they are still supposed to have a fair chance in the race of life. They're not having it. When our government can tell you, you are not allowed to have more than $2,000, you are not allowed to try to get somewhere in life, and you are forced to stay in the system, that is not a fair chance in the race of life. When we don't have health care, and because we don't, we have people suffering and dying, that is not a fair chance in the race of life. These are a lot of things I threw in there today. Oh, one other thing. Did you know that people with mental illness, on average, die 25 years sooner than those who do not? And one of the reasons is lack of medical care and lack of correct medical care. But remember, we live in a constitutional illusion. It's up to you, all of us, to contact every leader, and let's put them to work for us. Because like I said in the tape rule, they don't work for the department stores. They work for America. You got something to say, you got about 20 seconds. You got 20 seconds, make it fast.
One thing I want to mention is...
Real fast.
There's a lady that works at the Department of Human Services. It's been ill, and her name is Chelsea Quatone. They tell her to get well and get back to work soon. We all miss you. And also Rob McQuillan, I saw on a bus a couple of days ago, and they can tell him hi. So let's turn it over to Annette.
All right, quick, 10 seconds.
I agree with all that you've been saying. I just hope that people out there agree enough that they do what they can to change things. And, well.
That's good enough. But anyway, listen, everybody. Check this out. Even Americans fighting in Iraq were denied, and this was from CNN, they were denied the right to speak out. But anyway, we live in a constitutional illusion. Go to www.senate.gov, www.house.gov. And in the meantime, remember that you and humanity really does matter.
Don't forget to vote.
You can call yourself conservative, call yourself obsessive, call yourself moderate, liberal, or progressive. You can call yourself a Christian, Muslim, or a Jew, and claim to believe everything in your Bible is true. But if you want peace like a river,